I can understand that the words give life. I can understand that. Because I'm not questioning that it exists before the word. But when we say matter, do we say everything, no, everything is matter and nature is included in that matter, or there is matter and matters?
Well, we haven't discussed, I try to stay away from questions that do not reflect the material we discuss, because there might be some people here who don't know what nefesh means or even what.
Soul.
I'd have to.
My mother used to use it.
Okay.
Rabbi, can you just substitute the word soul and just say, is soul matter? Oh, hold on, just matter.
No.
It's not
Soul, if the essence, if you're looking for as accurate a definition, you would say it is the soul. So, now there are, I would prefer you left that for reincarnation, but I'm not going to leave you without an answer at all. So I'm never going to say there are souls and there are souls. There are those souls, as the Zohar says, who are contained in a pure vessel. And then there are those souls who are contained in the system of the unclean vessel. That means there is a soul that comes from the proper place, and I don't want to get into that, indicates a vessel, because soul does not mean the energy. Our souls merely express the ultimate reality, which is the force of the Lord. Okay? Soul means an expression. We all express the same force of God. We are Chelek Elokai Mimao, as the expression is in the Talmud and in the Zohar. We all are part of God. Are we part of God? Meaning the soul within us is a vessel. It makes manifest in a unique way, because each soul is unique and particular, expresses that force of the soul in its own particular way. Now, if the soul is an energy intelligence of a desire to receive for the sake of sharing, it is then a soul of the clean color. It is a soul that emanates from the Ein Sof. It is a soul that has become embedded within the aspect of the unclean color, which means the desire to receive for oneself alone. That is the Satan. That is the other side. It's the klipot, and we have so many names for it.
But is the soul matter then?
What's that? No.
But
no,
it's not matter.
No.
Without the vessel, with the vessel is the matter. Without it, there's no matter.
The only thing that is matter or physical, the body, and only those aspects that are represented by an energy intelligence of the desire to receive for oneself alone. That is definition Kabbalistically of matter.
You said about that we always got that why, and the Kabbalah is always, I've always asked why and why and why. And for us to elevate ourselves, we must understand the energy of every word. Like you said, when you go to shul and you pray, and even if you understand, you're really not connected.
It's possible that you are not.
That you're not connected. How do you expect us laymen, when we go to shul, to try or to connect, if we can connect? How do we achieve that that connection?
Well, I just provided you with the blessed information that the entire writings of Rabbi Isaac Luria, which provides us with the gates of meditation. It's in Hebrew. Meanwhile, for anyone who can now read Hebrew, to now know what there is to meditate at each particular prayer. That meditation is the electrical current You can have a system of communication, but if it doesn't have the zedim, if it doesn't have the current going through, if your wires are dead, you can still have a system connecting every part of this world. That doesn't mean it's operative. It's not functional. It doesn't have, that life is not there. The current is not there. The same is true, says Rabbi Zakluri, of prayer. This provides that energy, intelligence into you. It is the zedim. It is the current. The letters are merely the transfer agent, the channel, the cable. They're available now in Hebrew. But at least we made a good start. There was a time it wasn't available. It was just a select few. And as Rabbi Moses Cordovero said in the beginning of his book called Or Ne'arav, I think it's appropriate that we can mention it, that for those rabbis who will ever raise a voice against the study of Kabbalah to the masses, who will receive the first ticket, the first katis, we say in Hebrew, to hell. Now, he lived 400 years ago, and so I would have to recognize Rabbi Moses Cordovero as an authority far and above and beyond any major rabbi today who would dare to prohibit or prevent the layman from looking for a more meaningful expression in his life.
Are you saying that we're davening for almost nothing?
That's hard for me to say, but we'll touch on it. It's hard for me to say that, but where's my friend who is always asking for demonstrations of validity?
Now, I had a comment that it might be relevant to something that you said. There was an article in the Times on Tuesday about scientists who've done heretofore they thought that with the absence of any detectable brain waveform, any brain activity, someone was dead.
Who's that?
But now they found that they do experiments with rats with a complete absence of any hardware and brain activity, and they were able to revive them and bring them back to life. So I don't know what that says about anything finding death in a physical, or life in a physical factor.
So I guess, but the point I wanted to make is the proof is usually in the pudding. Maybe when it comes to religion, it does not be that way. Because I always ask the Israeli, ever hear the Israelis say, so what's going to be after all these problems? What is the answer? Yeah, Tov, it's going to be good. And I always marveled at that response because I said, Al smach ma, on what basis is it ever going to be good? 2,000 years of persecution, suffering, no end in sight. You say it's going to be good. Can you imagine a corporation operating with a deficit for 2,000 years, and then the president gets up at a board meeting and says, but next year is going to be good. And we'd all laugh at him, wouldn't we? Aren't we doing the same thing?
You're good. You're good.
So the prayers maybe haven't helped. Maybe that's the reason. Maybe we don't know. Maybe we're doing something that is incomplete. Maybe. But the proof of the pudding is there has been no change in 2,000 years with all of our prayers and all of our studies. Something is missing. That's all I'm saying. Something is missing. Yes.
When you use the word knowledge, could you substitute in the experience? Are you saying that the connection is divided? Where does the experience tie in? The kind of experience.
You see the Hebrew word? Are you familiar with Hebrew?
No, I just wanted to read the one asking you a question.
Okay. See, Hebrew is such an accurate system. It's incredible. The Israeli only knew the treasure he had. I guess he would maybe think along different lines. The word nisayon is the Hebrew word for experience. The root of that word is ness. The correct interpretation is miracle. Miracle. We seem, but that is not the true meaning of the word ness. Because if you also ask the Israeli, give me another definition of ness, and what will he say? Running. Running. How does running compare with miracle? And how does running compare to experience? See, we don't even know what experience means, because we can spend about a day on experience. So let me just say that information, knowledge, is that which you have connected with. It is now you. You see, because I can lecture here, aside from the fact that there are 40 individuals seated in this room, and each one is going to understand somewhat slightly different what has been said from his neighbor. Other than that, there are some that will not connect, or the internal meaning of what's been said here. There will be different levels of understanding of the same thing, same words, because words, even in English, transfer an energy intelligence. We know there are different levels within that energy intelligence. It's no different than when the current speaks to the refrigerator and to the 5-watt bulb and asks each one, how much do you need? And the refrigerator says, I need an awful lot of current. And the 5-watt bulb says, just give me a little bit. It's the same energy, isn't it? What happens? They're talking to each other.
But when you said the cosmic connection is via knowledge, the Hebrew word that you're translating into English there is not an association with experience. That's what I was saying.
Not at all.
And what's the Hebrew word that
in fact, nisayon means something entirely different. It corresponds to that root of its origin, ness, meaning not miracle, but meaning running. What does running mean? Now, I see English translation, but it means continuum or leaving one domain for another, one level of consciousness to another. That's really what it is. Okay, that's it. I'd rather you get a little more of this.